practice there where Hurts rolls out and you're running up on the tight end. How hard is it?
Oh, man. I told him, I said, man, I could have, it's all about protecting these guys, though. It's a joint practice, so I don't want to hurt anybody. But, in the game, it's one of the plays you think about. Yeah, that's the one you wait for. So.
How do you feel about the work you guys got in against that offense this last couple of days?
I feel great. I think that this practice shows, carrying over from Carolina, how we trying to build this foundation and really take care of our business and see what kind of defense, we could be on the defensive side and really team in general. So I think this should really boost confidence for a lot of guys, going against the former Super Bowl champs. No, you're good. My bad.
What have you learned about your defense in these 2 days?
I learned we play fast. I learned we play the best when we play fast. And I think that's Schwartz's mentality, getting to that ball, getting to the Brown thing. So it's great when we get to go up another team. You got that built up, energy and stuff. You can kind of let it out a little bit and really be more physical. And I think that's when we see our defense at best.
The impact back there in the secondary, this defensive line might be better than it was even 2 years ago.
I think we've always had a good defensive line, so I don't know about any years the best, especially we got 95 on the outside, so I think we got the best defensive line in the game.
You talked about building off of Carolina. What was it? Was there anything specifically that when you came out of that practice that this was the areas that you felt like you guys really needed to hone in on?
Of course we got little details and technique stuff, but at the end of the day, we know that, this is a different opponent, but, we want to attack it all the same. But just having that mentality of not being content with a good joint practice and a good win in preseason, carrying that over. Because, we still in camp. We're not perfect, but, we're getting work done, as you see.
I know the last couple of days, Denzel and Devontae Smith were matched up a lot.
Yeah.
What's it like to see him? Does that kind of bring out the best in him, those kind of matchups?
Yeah, Denzel really doesn't get enough notoriety. When we bring up top 5 corners or top 3 corners in the league, Denzel is top 2, So if you just cut the tape on, you can see this day in and day out. And I know that for a fact because not a lot of people could play like Ward, If whatever his technique is at the line, I'm probably not going to be able to do that because he just mirror people and run with them and react. So it's he's very unique in his technique. That's why it's hard for receivers, when they go up against him. So, we got a good one outside.
What do you think he's so underrated? Doesn't get the notoriety that he should deserve?
Hey, I don't know. I think it's all of us, really. Maybe I need to write some more articles and stuff.
When you guys looked at the defensive film of yesterday, I guess everyone thought you did well yesterday. How did today measure up in your mind? A lot. Were you as good as yesterday against this team?
Good, better.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I got to watch the tape, but I don't see much drop off. Yeah, I don't see much drop off.
What about why that initial reaction? I guess what did you see today?
I was out there practicing,
yeah.
So I saw what we did. It looked pretty complete, a little slip ups here and there, but it was a good performance overall.
So is it a huge confidence booster to know that you can have performances like this against the Super Bowl champs? I know you addressed that a little bit, but I didn't.
Yeah, like I said, guys tired, whatever, it's preseason, but at the end of the day, we all tired. It's training camp. So, when we dig deep and do what we got to do and on dog days like these, that's going to give us something to go back on when we down the season. Remember the training camp when we in the dog days and we really, was on our stuff. So we shouldn't have any excuse during the season.
Do you think it'd be a good idea to get playing time in the 3rd preseason game?
Yeah, I think that's Kevin's choice. I think that's his decision. I think that's the plan.
I saw you run over after Harold had that touchdown.
Yeah.
Late.
Come on now.
Just, you've gone up against him, in practice and everything. What have you seen out of the youngster? Just the way he's come about.
I think he's really explosive. I don't know how many yards and stuff he had. I think he some broken records or something. I don't know, but he's doing this thing out there, and I just tell him to keep working. Every time I see him, I really see it. Pay dividends. Of course, we love our tight ends on this offense, so I think expect big things from Harold.
As a defender, what kind of problems does that cause if you have 2 tight ends like David and Harold that can go get the ball?
For me?
Yeah, like if
no
you
problems.
have to defend them. Okay, well, somebody else. Somebody who's not you.
Yeah. I think it has to do with, what personnel you put out for defense. You might have to match them with 3 safeties, instead of being in base, stuff like that. So, and then we could also be able to run the ball because they both block really well. So, I think that's more of a Kevin. I think them boys figured it out when they drafted him. So.
Right, it looks like it's shaping up to maybe be Joe Flacco's week 1 start, just so many other guys are injured and stuff like that. So knowing what you guys get out here defensively in these 2 days, and then thinking about Joe kind of taking over the offense, what kind of vibe does that give you heading into the season?
Hey, I'm about winning. So really, whoever they put out there, whoever's about winning, I'm with them. So I don't know who it's going to be, but if they about winning, I'm about them.
What does it do? Go ahead, Tony.
This is the second time you practiced against the Eagles. Rich Schwartz is your coordinator.
Yeah.
Does he get pumped up?
Yeah. I mean, of course, when you're going against a former team and stuff like that, yeah.
You guys follow
Yeah.
that lead, too.
Yeah, the short answer.
What does it do? They leave Jalen Hurts in for so many of their snaps and their first team guys, and you guys are rotating constantly
saw
over there.
that.
What does that do for the younger DBs and everything to get reps going against those receivers and Jalen?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when our guys, get to go up against, the ones and stuff like that. But, I think that either way it goes, you just got to attack the same mentality. But it's good reps for them.
Good.
Appreciate it.